Hey guys, it's Lawrence, the comics guy, and I thought, being new to YouTube, that I'd do a video of my top 25 comics in my collection. As you can see by the little note there, that there's a big asterisk next to that comics, and the reason for that asterisk is that I, about 2 weeks ago, sent a bunch of books over to PGX to get graded. It's my first time sending anything out to PGX. Years and years ago, I sent something over to CGC and had a good experience for the most part. But I thought I'd give PGX a try, as a first-time user. I did pay for the express service. It's been about 2 weeks. I know it says 8 days to have those books to come back to me, but I still haven't received them. I did tell the owner that if any of the books would benefit from a cleaning or a pressing, to call me and let me know. I haven't heard anything, but they did say that if they needed anything, they would let me know. But been 2 weeks, still nothing yet. Hoping to get an invoice and an email soon saying they're back on their way. So I wanted to give you a heads up of what I did send to PGX, and then I'll get into the top 25 comics. And the top 25 is not in by value or anything else like that, or grade. It's more of what I like and books that I love and that I cherish. So I want to show you guys that. So the books I sent to PGX that are not in this list are The Amazing Spider-Man number 13, The Amazing Spider-Man number 15, The Amazing Spider-Man number 46, The Amazing Spider-Man number 41, Miss Marvel 1, New Mutants 87, 2 copies of New Mutants 98, Shazam number 1, Amazing Spider-Man 20, Amazing Spider-Man 25, Amazing Spider-Man 194, Fantastic Four 67, Captain America 117, and Marvel Premiere 47. I'm excited to get those books back. Can't wait, and I will definitely do a video of those books as soon as I getting back an unboxing. So hopefully they all come back higher than what I thought they were going to be, but we'll see. So we'll start with the top 25 comics in my collection, valued, by my personal preference, not by monetary value. So here we go, guys. The first one, and they're in least to best order, in my opinion, of comics that I love. So we'll start, and here we go. First one, it was Marvel Spotlight on the Spider-Woman, number 32, first appearance of the Spider-Woman. Now, I know from watching videos and hearing things that the Spider-Woman will eventually appear in her own, I don't want to say movie or show, or the character Jessica Drew will be in, make a cameo in one of these movies. So I just always love the color. I didn't buy this book that long ago, but I don't know, something about this years of when these books are made that I love. I always prefer collecting Silver Age and early Bronze Age comics because I just love the artwork in them. I mean, I think they're phenomenal. I mean, the artwork today is insane, but they don't hold the same, I guess, sentimentality that you have in the new books. But that's just me. So, moving on. Next one. This is one that I picked up when I was a kid, and I've had since, I was, in my teens. Amazing Spider-Man number 361, first appearance of Carnage. And I remember reading back in the day that, and I love the storyline. I love Venom, and I love the character of Carnage and what they've done with him. But these books, this whole series of books of 361 and on, I love the storyline. So Mark Bagley, one of my favorite covers. As you can see, the book, when it was assembled, it wasn't exactly the greatest job of doing so. So the grade is not that great. There's some blue pen down here in that area, but either way, I've had this book in my possession for probably 20 years or whatever it's been. So a great book to have in your collection. And now with the new Venom movie, you hear rumblings of Carnage being a part of it. So next one, The Eternals number 1. I was kind of disappointed when I heard that the Eternals may or may not be appearing in a new movie, but love the cover, love the orange. it's something about me. I love orange in books. The Hulk 181, Amazing Spider-Man 300. I don't know. Those are some of my favorite books that have orange in it. I can't explain it, but this cover always was beautiful to me. So it's in decent shape. I would say a 5.0. I'm not a professional grader, but we'll see. Good book. I do plan on sending some of these books in to get graded. I just don't know who I'm going to send them to. I'm waiting to get these books back from PGX to see if I approve of what they've done. So, we'll wait and see. Next one, Amazing Spider-Man 238, first appearance of the Hobgoblin. Always love the cover of this book, and especially the artwork ripping Spider-Man in half. Not a crazy expensive book, definitely under $100, but love it nonetheless. The coupons, or the tattoos I should say, are inside the book. Again, one of my favorites, but not much more to say on this one. Keep going, and I don't want to show the graded books that are in the background. So, Amazing Spider-Man number 136, first appearance of, well, not the first appearance, the first time that Harry Osborn becomes the Green Goblin. Again, a storyline I always loved. These early books from Spider-Man are some of my favorites. My collection is not super high grade. They're mid-grade books, or even to low-end books, but it's the sentimentality and the artwork that drive me to it. So I'm a big Spider-Man fan, among other guys, but Spider-Man's definitely my favorite, so you'll see a lot of Spider-Man books here. Next one, Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 1, first appearance of Luke Cage. Not a book that I've had in my collection for too long, but I pounced on this deal when I saw it on eBay for a decent price. It's a mid to lower grade book, but for a first appearance of a character who already has a TV show with a second season coming soon, I couldn't not buy it when I saw it. So I don't think I paid that much for the book, just about $100 in this condition, which I thought was okay. I pounced on it. So next, Superman's X-Pal, the new Jimmy Olsen, number 134, first appearance of Darkseid, or the cameo. I know people prefer this book over the Forever People, and I think I agree with them. I love this cover. It pairs, opposed to the Forever People issue. But I figured with the whole DC universe, he's coming soon, right? I mean, we all expected him at some point to be in Justice League, but it never happened. So I pounced on this book when I could, and hopefully DC gets it right, and this book will, get some value to it, more than it is now, because I think it should be valued higher with a main villain like this first appearance. But next, Marvel Premiere number 1, The Power of Warlock, first appearance of Adam Warlock, out of the cocoon. Again, great book. The orange, as you can tell, my favorite. Something about these books, especially with the black background, love it. Book's in decent shape. Staples look good. There's definitely some ticks along the spine. There's crease all over the right side of the book, but I would still say it's in 3 to 3.5 range, maybe 4.0, depending on how it comes back. But pretty decent book. One of my favorites. Next, Amazing Spider-Man 101. I just recently acquired this book right before they announced that What's-His-Face was going to be playing Morbius in a Sony movie, Sony spin-off, Jared Leto. There is, if you can see, there's some writing in this book. On the top left, there's a rip over at the bottom, creases over on this side. But for a first appearance of a character from the Spider-Man, I don't want to say, collection of baddies is a better word. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but Morbius, definitely a good character. Now going to get his own movie. Always love the color. But again, low-grade book with the writing and the creases, but definitely a must-have for any Spider-Man fan. Next, The Man They Call Nova, number 1, first appearance of Nova. Good book. I would say it's about a 6.0 from looking at the cover. Maybe 6.5. It's very hard to see. There's a very little ding up here in this corner. A pressing may help that. We'll see if that's possible, if I end up sending this book in, but still hoping he can get his own show or appearance in a movie or whatever. Great book to have. A hot book as of late, so when I saw it for a decent price, I definitely wanted to pick it up. Next, one of my favorites of all time, Amazing Spider-Man 316. Nothing crazy about this book except for the actual cover. Todd McFarlane is one of my favorite artists. Everybody loves Venom. The purple, the black, the red of Spider-Man. It's just a classic cover, iconic. As you know, we've seen a lot of variants of other books copy this because it's just amazing. Phenomenal artwork and one of my favorite books. I'm actually surprised it's not higher on my list of favorite books, but love it. Next, Fantastic Four number 49, first appearance of Galactus. I think this is the next thing that they're going to do, Marvel, after Avengers 4 comes out. It's it only makes sense with hopefully the deal going through between Disney and Fox that the Fantastic Four and Galactus, and eventually, Doctor Doom is the next route. Love this book. There's a little bit of writing up here in the corner. Definitely a lot of spine wear. Other than that, there's a piece of cover missing right here and a bunch of different folds, but this book is getting up there, over $100 definitely, even in low grade like this. So I'm glad I was able to pick it up when I could, and hopefully he'll appear in a movie soon. Next, not too much has happened in this book, but I love it. Tales of Suspense number 48. It's the new costume for Iron Man. Obviously I can't afford Tales of Suspense 39, but 48 with the iconic costume that he now wears is my next best thing outside of Iron Man number 1, but this book precedes that. So love Tony Stark, love Iron Man, as probably we all do from the movies, and even way back when I started collecting comics. But there's a low grade copy, bunch of spine wear, bunch of creases, piece missing here, but again, for what I paid for it, $80 for a classic story, new costume, main character. I figured I couldn't pass it, the opportunity. Next book, The Invincible Iron Man number 55, first appearance of Thanos. I got this book maybe a few months after the announcement that Thanos was going to be in the movies. Again, low grade copy. There's writing at the top of it. There's some, cover is loose at its top staple a little bit. I guess this name, there are two names at the top of it, Richard Burgess and Mike Burgess. I don't know, maybe those are the previous owners, brothers, who knows. But first appearance of Thanos, great book to have. That's it. As you can see, a big part of my collection are first appearances and main things happening in books. So, next, Amazing Spider-Man number 9, first appearance of Electro. Low grade copy of this book. Just recently purchased it about a couple of months ago. I always used to love Electro, especially in that old cartoon back in the 80s. Was one of my favorite characters. It actually was a video game. I don't remember which system it was for, but Electro, who was just where you're up on like this electrical, barrier thing where you're up on different levels fighting him, to move on to the next boss. And I just loved it. So I've always had an affinity for this character. I wish they did him justice in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that movie was terrible. It'll probably be forever since we see him in a Marvel movie, but here's to hoping. Low grade book, probably a 1.0. We'll see. I do plan on sending this book out, so, but first appearance of one of my favorite villains, Spider-Man villains, so can't go wrong. We're gonna be getting into the graded books now. So as you can see, I'm gonna remove this white board here, and we'll go from there. Okay. Next one. is Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. I am not a huge modern book collector at all, but this one stood out to me as something that maybe down the line may be worth something. CGC graded 9.4. Great character from a different point of view of Spider-Man, of a Spider-Man. Love the story, love the character, and we already nodded to him in Spider-Man Homecoming, so I do think eventually we're going to see him in a Spider-Man movie. I know he's coming into the Spider-Verse cartoon movie, but I really love to see him in his own thing down the line. I'm talking like 10 years down the line, not right now. So hopefully by then we can build the value of this book up a bit. So next, Iron Fist number 14, first appearance of Sabretooth. I wasn't a huge Wolverine fan growing up as a kid, but I do love some of these bad guys, and I think Sabretooth is at the top of the list, not just of Wolverine, but of all bad guys. I actually love Liev Schreiber in X-Men movies. I really wish they had brought him back in Logan, but they didn't. But that's okay. But a pretty key comic to have in my collection, and still got a bunch more that I love after this comic, and this is a good one. So, a keynote: I'm 40 years old, and this literally came out when I was born, so that's just crazy to me. I know a lot of these are way before I was born. So, next, Submariner number 1, 5.5 CGC, cream to off-white pages. I'll never be able to force, the first appearance of Submariner. I got this book like 5 months ago when I thought maybe we'd see Submariner in, one of these Avenger movies, but I don't think that's going to happen, obviously. But down the line, I do think it's still going to happen. You will see him in a movie. I think he's one of the bigger characters that are going to show up. Definitely good mid-grade copy. Glad to have it in my collection. Would love the first appearance, but that ain't never going to happen, so I ain't rich. Next one. Not a big monetary value book, but again, a comic I hold dear to my collection only because this is a book I've had since I was a kid. Obviously not graded since I was a kid, but a book that I've had since I was a kid in my own collection. Marvel Superheroes number 8, Secret Wars, first appearance of the black costume. And again, one of my favorite storylines in all of comics is the black costume and Venom and what this suit does to Spider-Man. I pray that this appears in the MCU because I know Marvel will do it right. 9.2, great book. I'm actually happy it's still pretty pink and not peach as you see some of these books get as the years go by. So next one, as you can see, I know I did a video of this one unboxing recently. Amazing Spider-Man number 252, first appearance of black costume in the Amazing Spider-Man book. Iconic cover, always wanted this book, white pages, never had it, acquired it a few weeks ago, and I did an unboxing on my channel. So thrilled to have it in a good condition. Again, I got this book for a steal, like $80 or whatever it was on eBay. Love it. Next, Fantastic Four number 48. Now we're getting to some real good stuff. First appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. The other one was first full appearance. This is a cameo. Great book, major character. Can't wait for him to appear in the MCU. Hopefully, that all comes to fruition. But I think it'll be a few years. There is some writing at the top of the book, which probably prevents it from getting a higher grade. There are some spine ticks here, but overall, solid book, cream to off-white pages, but just wish that writing wasn't there for a major character like Silver Surfer. So, next one, Fantastic Four number 52, first appearance of the Black Panther, 4.0, mid-grade. Really good shape, actually. The only thing I could really, there's too much here, is in the bottom corner here. The book, as you see, doesn't lay quite especially flat, but this corner is good. Corner's good, and the spine is actually really good considering the black cover. But how well the Black Panther movie did, so I know that they're coming out with another one. We'll see what happens after Avengers 4, but definitely a key book going forward in the MCU. We're getting to the nitty gritty here. Amazing Spider-Man 300, 8.5, not one of those 9.8 you see on eBay nowadays going for thousands of dollars, but a really good copy. Again with the orange, Todd McFarlane, Black Suit Spider-Man. As you can see, those are my favorites. First appearance of Venom. Love this book. Had it when I was a kid, but sold it off, years and years ago. Wish I still had my copy because it was definitely a better grade, but love this book. One of my favorites, and probably be hanging on to this one for a while. With the Venom movie coming out, this book is just skyrocketing right now, so, we'll see. Next one, Avengers number 4. First appearance of Captain America in the Silver Age book. The cover is detached. I know I did a recent video on this one. Definitely got some damage here. There's a little bit of blue ink that's here. Top is disheveled, but 2.0. I didn't want to go crazy on this book because I don't know what's going to happen to Captain America in this next movie, so it may take a hit. I do think that he won't be with us after this, especially since Chris Evans has said he's done. But I think that from the rumors are saying that he's going to perish off. So we'll see, but definitely a major key to have in my collection and one of my favorites, even though I just recently got it. Always love this book. Next, probably my most expensive book, but not my fave. There's one more to go. This is actually number 25 on this list, but there is one more. I put an extra one in there, but Incredible Hulk number 181, first appearance of Wolverine, signed by Stan Lee. What can you say about this book? Again, an orange book. Don't know what it is with me, but love them, especially when they're first appearances. I just think they're bright and beautiful, and of course this one's signed by Stan Lee. I paid a pretty penny for it, unfortunately. I wish I still had it years ago when it would have been cheaper. But altogether, you cannot not have this book if you can get it, This is a CBCS book, my only one of those. Not that I mind, because I know CBCS had guys that work for CGC that went off and did their own thing, which I actually think is cool, because we can't just rely on one company to do all this stuff. That's why I kind of chose PGX to send my books to. I want to see how they do. I have a CBCS book. I have a ton of CGC books. And we'll wait and see. I do have a mega grail coming in the mail that I just recently purchased, and it is not graded, and I want to see who I'm going to send it to. It is going to need a dry cleaning and a pressing, because it is a lower grade book, obviously, because I am not a millionaire. But I want to see what PGX does for these books, and I want to see what CBCS offers. I know CGC does pressings and stuff like that, but they send it to their own different company, which I'm kind of leery with. But I'm actually heading to Garden State Comic Fest this Saturday, and CBCS will be there, so I want to see if I can drop it off to them. Hopefully it will be here before then, but we'll see. CGC will also be there as well. So, all right, my favorite comic book that I own as of right now in my possession, outside of what I sent to PGX, even though I do think it is my favorite that I own, is here. Amazing Spider-Man 129, first appearance of the Punisher. My all-time favorite book in my collection. 5.0, mid-grade book, getting up there in price, but iconic. I do actually have a tattoo of the Punisher, of the symbol anyway, and it's in a big design on my shoulder, so kind of inconspicuously in there, but it's there. One of my favorite characters. When I was a kid, I used to have a guy that I always used to hang out with he had every Punisher comic known to man when I was a kid, and I'd flip through them and see it. And this is just when I had to be like 8 years old, and I still remember it, how that character was. And of course, growing up loving Spider-Man, how could you not want his first appearance? So my all-time favorite book as of right now in my collection. So, and I will update you guys as soon as I get that PGX shipment, which I'm hoping will be sooner rather than later. And when I get that grail in the mail, I also will do a unboxing to show you. And I definitely want to see, hopefully I'll get some subscribers out of this, but I want you guys to make comments on what you think of my books, what you think of my unboxings, what you think of the grades are when I do the unboxings. Because a lot of the books I buy are not graded. A few are, but I've only done 2 videos and this is my 3rd, so hopefully I'll get some subscribers, and we'll go from there, guys. But I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.